thank you for joining me and welcome to my channel. My name is Veroosh and this is the Veroosh channel, youtube.com/Veroosh. I'm excited to be here with you and I don't know if it's showing right now. Okay. I don't know. Okay. So I'm excited to be here with you guys. Sorry, I was getting a weird visual. And I'm going to do the Scorpio, long-awaited yearly Scorpio reading right now for you guys. So all my Scorpianas in the house say, hey, hey girl, hey. So we're going to take a look at your cards and then I'm going to pop offline and film the extended for members only. You guys can see that down below. In a couple months, I'll show everyone this, but for now, it's going in the members only pile, okay? Scorpios, thanks for waiting, you guys. You know this is one of my big readings, and so I was anticipating it. Because of in light of the current events, I was feeling more comfortable with reading with this deck, which is the Morgan Greer Tarot. This is no joke. I did not shuffle this. And this was on the bottom, which is your card. So I'm just blown away at the fact it was just sitting here. So what we're going to do is standard yearly prediction reading. And then I'm going to go offline and do the members only. Members, you can find that at the end of the video in the click through or in the description, okay? And everybody else can find your videos at YouTube, not #Veroosh Scorpio, okay? Okay, so let's check this out. Let's see what's up for Scorpios. I can't believe you guys got the death card at the bottom. That's pretty neat. Okay, pretty cool. Your first message is the King of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Secondary transits in fire. It looks like somebody has the main energy that we start off this year with. We're already 3 months in, almost starting the 4th, but it's a very open-hearted energy. It's either you yourself have found yourself very much healed, and I think that that's maybe more your energy at this time, or possibly you find yourself around someone who has that open heart energy, and you're very, very close with them. A lot's going to center around this person this year. So I would say be very excited. And this person is very much, you know, ready to love. They can be any sign. The second sign is the King of Wands. A Sag, a Leo, or an Aries. A man provides counsel and advice to you, Scorpio. It may be a fire sign person. Someone said something to you that informed you a lot. Gave you a lot of information and insight about life and about circumstances. Then we have the Three of Cups, fulfillment of wishes, and this specifically has to do with your circumstances in terms of being a wife, in terms of being married. Whatever you want in your marriage is going to unfold very beautifully for you this year. And your relationship with your mother will be quite strong. There will be a lot of happiness and joy for you in that situation. The next message is the Chariot card, which is the card of Cancer. If you're talking about relationships with men, whatever kinds of problems you've had, especially on the romantic front, those will be restored or revealed. Likewise, with regard to business issues or family issues, like not family but like home issues, building a home and so forth, you too will find some kind of a resolution to long-standing problems. So far the cards look really great. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Secondary transits in air, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. It looks as though maybe you are now venturing forward towards finding some kind of community, moving forward to a new community, new connection. You're kind of making your way, trying to find new places to exist in, new spaces to interact with people. Meeting new people will be a big thing for you this year. I'm really, really drawn to the King of Wands. It's a very peculiar place for him to be in. You might be turning to a religious leader, like a priest or, you know, some kind of clergy person, whatever your faith is. it really feels like you're speaking to a man of God or someone like that who's giving you counsel and giving you advice on how to proceed with things. I think in some way this really signifies you have healed yourself in some ways. Maybe we should kind of give some room to the cards. You have healed yourself in some way. In a significant way, you have healed things that were holding you back for a long time. You start off this year, you have already started off in a much healthier place with a lot of resolve. And so you're having these conversations with someone. It really feels like someone who's very, very religious. And this person is kind of giving you advice. It looks like a very happy year full of consolidating your lessons of the past. The things you've always wanted to happen are happening around you now. And in love, breakthroughs in love like you've never thought before. So all of these cards are very lovely. The next message is the Ace of Wands. Now, some new information is coming to you from family, from matters to do with family, matters around family. There's going to be maybe a new birth in your family, a new child is being born, or there's some kind of a new beginning around family issues, a breakthrough moment, improvement of things. It's like, you know how you can look back on your life and you see different chapters in your family's history, like this is the year when we bought the house, this is the year when we got married, this is the year when we retired, whatever it is. It's that chapter is now beginning for you in this year, that big chapter in your life, your family's life. And it's bigger than just your relationship. It has to do with your extended family, your parents, and other people in your family, siblings as well. Then we have the Hierophant here, okay? It really feels like you are in some way resolving circumstances to do with community. It seems like you're resolving circumstances to do with with people around you. Things of the past that had in some way held you back or down in the past, you have figured it out. You know where you stand with others, whereas before you may have felt as though that wasn't the case, that you didn't really know where to stand. You didn't really know. There's also great progress with regard to your education. With any institution that you're interacting with, there's going to be wonderful progress for you this year. The next message is the Devil card in this position. I have a feeling that you're going to be moving very, very quickly this year towards the things you want. So you will pursue ambitions and goals and dreams. I see you really pushing with your heart and going passionately after the things you want. Sometimes you may want to make sure that you're not too focused, because when you're too focused, you get tunnel vision and you don't see the life around from the side. So the Devil is kind of saying you're hyper focused on whichever direction you're taking this year, but you want to maybe consider some of the outside forces affecting your life. The next message is the Leo card. And so you will stand this year alone with regard to a passion or something that you truly feel passionate about. Like, for example, you will just love something so much, and other people around you may not understand what you love or why you love it. But you're going to have a deep passion for that within your heart, and it's going to bring you great comfort and serenity to have that thing in your life or experience this feeling. So it's not something you want to throw away. The next message is the Six of Swords. Now this is moving on. You are being called to move forward, move on, move up in the world, transform your life for the better. This card tells me this is you, whether you're a man or a woman. This is telling me that in some way you are really clarifying your feelings about circumstances. You're clarifying you have no longer the need to heal something of the past that's really been thoroughly healed, and it's taken I feel like a long time, years, maybe even a decade. And so it feels very strange that now you're on sure footing, you're fine with yourself, and the journey is ahead of you. A little bit of pacing is really important to pay attention to. You may want to go really fast towards something, but then you have to hold back and go somewhat in a more paced way, carefully. And then when you find your pacing, and when there's a breakthrough in your career, you will definitely move forward towards a certain direction and move away from things that are not serving you towards more opportune directions. So there's a lot going on here. There's a huge focus on family. If you're in a relationship, I feel as though that relationship is very continuous. It's not necessarily that you're jumping into a relationship this year. It's not that you're jumping out of a relationship this year. It really feels like your relationship just continues on the way it has been. If you're single, you may meet somebody with whom you're very happy with, but it's not going to be big drama. It's not going to be like dramatic and over the top and crazy. It's just going to be a very good companionship, a good friendship, and very, very calm. It's not going to be anything that is like heavy or a problem for you. Nothing that's dragging you down. In fact, I think that you will prioritize work and other things ahead of relationships. The relationship will be a complement to the other things in your life. Very cool card so far. Next message is the 5 of Pentacles. So to me, this is your karma card for this year. And maybe they won't fit this way. Okay, so it's a bit of a karma card this year. And so to me, this suggests that the way you treat others, or you have treated others, is going to come back onto you very, very intensely. So it's saying, like, when you're kind to others, you're going to receive kindness back. When you help others in a difficult time, you will receive that gratitude, and others will give you that kindness back. And so I feel like in some way, yes, it has to do with the past, but it also has to do with the present and the future. So in the present moment, when somebody who is poor is asking you for something on the street, it's how you react to that situation that really refines your karma. It's going to be very, very direct karma for you this year in the way that you react with others. If you're kind to others, if you're conscientious, then, and it's not anything that anybody else can prove. You don't have to watch over your back. This is God watching. This is the universe watching. It's basically watching how you've been and how you are being. And you're going to be learning lessons through all that. So let's say that you are a Scorpio, or not you, it's not you, but let's say there is a Scorpio out there who is extremely selfish, narcissistic, sociopathic, and this person doesn't do this. They're going to learn with extreme intensity this kind of experience for themselves. So let's say they are laughing at someone who needs help. Very soon the tables will turn, and that laughter will be about them. You know, they will experience karma isn't about punishing someone. Karma is about really deeply understanding and learning the balance of things. So it's almost like being on a balance beam. You know, imagine walking on a balance beam. If you sort of throw your energy or your weight to one direction or the other, it throws the whole thing off, and you have an immediate outcome, meaning you either fall or stay on the balance beam. And so it's that kind of energy. It's a very kind of, I have a vision of I don't know if you guys know this, where you come from, but in Canada, they would have tetherball, which is a rubber ball that is connected to a metal pole and connected by a rope. And so you would play this in school when you were young, and you would connect the ball to the pole and hit it around with your friends. So if you hit it too hard, if you're playing by yourself, it could come smack around and hit you in the head. It's a rubber ball, so it doesn't hurt. It hurts a little bit, and especially if you smack it. So it's that kind of energy. Or playing tennis. If you play tennis with friends, I'm not saying just, if you hit the ball a certain way, the other opponent or the person you're playing with can smack it back at you. But if you play politely and gently, then you can have a nice flow going. So it's that kind of energy. The energy that you expel towards others is going to be expelled right back at you. And maybe not from the people you do that to. It's almost going to be like that's a very strong download that came down for you. There's going to be a very direct kind of reverberance to you. So you have the Ten of Swords next. Okay, so you still in some way are closing the door on something. This King of Wands is trying to convince you of how to look at a situation very clearly. And I think that that continuation of closing the door on something continues into this year. Although, like I said, you have been healed. And so as a healed Scorpio, I have a feeling that a lot of the, how do you say, you know, it's not so emotional at this point. It has to do with final lessons, insights, understandings of things. It's like more of an observational science in terms of learning your lessons or learning a situation. Likewise, for some of you Scorpios, I'm getting a download, but don't be upset by me saying this. I have a feeling that for some of you, especially those of you who have faced betrayal in the past, you may find that there's betrayal now in the present moment that continues. So there could be that feeling that there's still certain situations that are still unpacking themselves. But these are, how do you say, they're almost like situations that are dead and unnecessary. They still show up in your life, but they're not like as vibrant or as present or as emotionally salient as they have been in the past. The next message is the Eight of Swords. And so we have the Eight of Swords. Okay, so there's going to be a direct, can you guys hear that? There's someone here with the internet and all that stuff. It's one person, but that's okay. Let's just ignore them. So they're just a little bit of a quack, okay? So we have the Eight of Swords next, which means that in this position, there's definitely a situation that was very hard for you to resolve. It seems like you've been pushing really hard through a situation, Scorpio. It seems like you have been trying to push through, push hard, muscle your way through things, and you've already given up trying to muscle your way through situations. However, I feel like there's still certain reactions that show up that kind of mirror that way that you were trying just to make it through life. I'm picking up on the fact that you were tired for a long time in a situation that wasn't resolvable, and it wasn't easy to resolve, and it was very kind of, how do you say, it was just a never-ending kind of tedious process, years, like I'm saying, 5 years, 10 years, whatever. And in certain parts of your battle with that process, you tried to muscle through that situation, and you kept on, it wasn't the right way. Ultimately, you learned how to deal with it, and now to this day, you still have a little bit of a reverberance of that way of dealing with things, getting angry or getting frustrated. And so now you're solving problems in front of you in a much more constructive way. And some of the ways in which that were not so constructive before, they're getting pushed aside. They're getting pushed out of the way. So in other words, what you're dealing with is you're learning you've already learned new approaches, but you're refining the approaches you're using to deal with life, and you're going to see a lot of success with this. We have the Wheel of Fortune. People are bringing really good things to you. If you date men, really wonderful things are coming to you. Success, growth, advancement, transformation. Things are on an upswing. If you are connected with a man in a romantic sense, then they may in some way provide you insight in a direction that you can go that's quite transformative. So they may in some way instigate for you progress forward, leaps forward. So they say, let's say your partner, your husband, your boyfriend says, let's go and move in this direction. The Chariot has to do with moving. So they say, let's move to this country. Let's move to this province, state, whatever. This yields for you a wonderful outcome and transformation. So be excited. The next message is the Seven of Swords. Interesting. In this position, what this represents is that you need to be very wary of people flaking out on you. Very interesting. Don't mind that I'm giving you like the full meal deal here. And I'm going to clarify everything for members using some cards I have on the side, and I'll post it in half an hour or whatever it takes to do. So there's definitely around you people who are possibly, if you had an Achilles heel this year, if there was one thing this year that was like kind of not good, it would be the Seven of Swords, which means that it would be the fact that there's a like flakiness or not being forthright, people dipping out on you, people like saying they'll do something and then they don't do it. But I have a feeling that by the end of the year, or as quickly as you figure it out, you will be able to identify the type of person who's going to do that to you. So it's going to be ultimately up to you where you direct your energy, who you align with. So it'll be like for example, you will be able to tell like, oh, it's this type of person, you know, it's this type of person that like, you'll know, like you'll see them coming from far away, and you'll be like, and it'll be completely your fault if you kind of participate in that. Like if your ego drives you to continue, or there's something like shady feelings or whatever. It's going to be at the end of the day, you'll see in every situation, you're like, yeah, I let that person do that to me. So if you don't want to experience that, you just have to not participate. The next message is easier said than done. Then we have the moon here. That's a really good position. I think you're bringing, this is a year of day for you. So which means that the day is strong in your year. You have like bright life, bright times. The night is just sort of for rest or less important things. The majority of your life's events happen in the daytime. And so everything that is driven by night, and I mean very metaphorically, everything that is driven by night is hidden, you know, like fears, anxieties, shadow sides, those kinds of things. They're really breaking down and making way for a very bright and beautiful year. So it's a year of happiness and progress and, you know, going after the things you want rather than recoiling and hiding somewhere. Then you have the Death card here, change and transformation. That's your card, Scorpio. You're going to make a personal transformation, and you're fated to do this. Probably at some point after all this is said and done, you will find yourself transformed, and you will do something in your life that will change the majority of your life. The majority of the way you live your life and your environment will drastically change. But it's only after you do certain things like move on, move towards something. This is also very strong, in which you have to put those situations behind you. Remember we were talking about those situations with, like, I was getting the image of zombie people, like people that used to be resonant for you emotionally and now they don't even matter anymore, but they still come up, or like feelings about it come up. And so you sort of push that aside and make personal changes. Then we have the Queen of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, secondary transits in water, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. I have a feeling that some of you might go see a counselor, and with her you will discuss a lot of your personal issues, and that's where you will deal with the shadow side and kind of more internal things. Or you will have a friend around who's a very watery type of person who will see your secrets and help you bring light to them. Remember, this year is a year of light and day, so she's bringing light. It's not that you're going to dwell in like shadow experiences. You're going to be bringing everything that you go through into light, and you have a very clear and bright person who in some way brings that light to your circumstances. So she in some way, it could be a close friend. It could be, you know, just somebody's looking straight at your stuff and she is pulling out, weeding out of that darkness, you know, just bringing it to light. Just like potatoes, you know, or root vegetables, carrots and stuff, just pulling them out of there, bringing them out into light. And then we have the Magician. Okay, so you're going to be around someone who's going to make things happen. I have a feeling that your connection with men is incredibly strong, and there's a lot of success for you there, Scorpio. Whoever the men are in your life, you'll, again, like just like this energy, you have to figure out how to identify it, but it's going to be more than one person, more than one relationship. Maybe it'll be a boss, maybe it'll be a coworker, maybe it'll be a couple teachers, a couple friends, a relationship, whoever it is, your father, men in your life, brother, those kinds of things. A masculine sister or masculine female in your life can still carry this energy. But they're very successful bringing things in, you know, growing your life, giving you presents, giving you lift, just spoiling you. It's a very spoiled energy, like spoiling you with whatever your heart desire is, you know. So it's like these people that manifest over and over again in your life as a part of your year will always kind of bring you those kinds of blessings. Last card for now, and I'll show you the bottom then. We have the Five of Wands. Okay, so some decisions, I feel like you do run the risk of being thrown off kilter. You have a lot of good things going on, but if you invest in people that, you'll know from the beginning if they're flaky. And so it's up to you to call them on that. If you stick around long enough, they're going to throw you off balance. You have too many big things to worry about, and then you'll keep on going back to what threw you off balance, and you might get, caught up with trying to figure it out, and I don't know if it's in your best interest. On the bottom is the Knight of Wands, a Sag, a Leo, or an Aries. I have a feeling that you're really about to embark on some things, begin new things. You know, the world is your oyster. In terms of love, like I said at the beginning, it's sort of there, but not necessarily the focal point of your life. The focal point of your life is community, progress, and fixing all these like little loose pieces of your relationships with other people that are remnants from the past, but things that are no longer emotionally saturated. They're not, you know, they're not so emotionally heavy, so you can deal with them. And I think that this will be a big part of your life. I don't know if it's trips, concerts, adventures, whatever it is, there's someone who keeps on bringing and adding into your life positive things. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If those of you who watch this live are waiting for the extended, you guys can write a description for me in the comments down below when this video posts, and then I'll use it as my description for the year, and then you'll be doing my homework. So if you want to summarize this for everybody, please do so. And please don't be offended if I don't choose yours and I choose another person's. Or maybe I'll like pull out sentences from several of yours. I don't know. So just, if you're up for it, if you want to summarize this reading, I'll put it in the description and put your name by it. Anyway, Scorpio, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a wonderful year. Sorry to make you wait, but, you know, things happen. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.